We're back once again with another mini PC. I've got a stack of these things, man. We got to slowly work through them. This one I was intrigued by, though, with its price point. It was fairly reasonable. And it's a pretty big mini PC. It's not a little tiny thing. I don't know. Sometimes I look at like, hey, if it's a little bigger, maybe it's a little more powerful, but most likely not, right? I don't know what I was thinking there, but this is the Blackview MP200. We have a Intel i5. So we got 16 gigabytes RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. Let's get into this thing. We're going to be testing some emulation real quick. So let's blast through this, see what we got in the box. It's a very nice presentation here for a mini PC that's around $300. So yeah, here we go. Got a couple USBs on the front, USB-C. Always love to have a USB-C on the front. Then we got a couple more USBs in the back. DisplayPort, HDMI, and power. Neat looking little device here. But yeah, not too many input outputs there, but enough to get by. We got power supply. We got a HDMI cable. What else is in here? Oh, we got a little stand. This reminds me of another mini PC. I don't remember which one it was, but there was one where it had like a little stand like that. And like, stand it up. Make sure you got some decent airflow. Otherwise, like, it doesn't have like any feet or anything, but you could just stand it up however you want. Like, there's no ventilation on the bottom here. This kind of a rubberized feel to the shell there. Now that I'm rubbing all over it, right? But you could just have it any which way. There's ventilation there on the sides, on the back, but nothing on the bottom, so you wouldn't be blocking anything. So there's that. We got some, the hell is this? I'm assuming some kind of mounting brackets. And that's pretty much it in there. On this side, looks like we probably have the other part of the power supply, I'm assuming. Let's see what is in there. Yeah, big ass brick. We got a big ass brick here. There you go. And that was it. Just a big ass brick and a little pamphlet. Reading materials. Okay, so let's just jump straight on into it. I got this thing set up, and while it is a decently powered little system here, I am not going to be testing too much in the way of PC gaming. You know, you could definitely do some light PC gaming with this system, that's for sure, but what I wanted to focus on was emulation. You know, not the lower end stuff. NES, of course, is going to work. Your Super Nintendo, all that stuff. 8, 16-bit, up to PS1. You could play that on a potato hooked up to a 9-volt battery connected to a screwdriver to your microwave. I don't freaking know. You don't need a lot of power to play those systems. So here, I want to push it a little bit, give you guys my thoughts. So I'm going to play some footage, give you guys a little, little taste, and then comment here and there.
Safe, G. How could anyone do this? G.
So there was a little bit of Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, and Saturn, and most of that stuff seemed to play just fine. But, you know, I can't test every single game for the entire library, but everything I tested seemed to run okay. You will run into certain things where I've noticed no matter how I emulate, the issue is always there, like Dreamcast House of the Dead. There'll be some like weird jittery graphics in certain areas, but the game is playing full speed. No issues with sound or, you know, the game's playable. No issues, but you may notice little things here and there. But let's move on. So there was a little bit of GameCube and Wii, and everything was running great. Now, some games, especially on the Wii, may need to take a moment to render things, and then it'll clear up, like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. No matter the system, no matter the graphics card, the processor, that game, it's always one where it takes a moment, and then it runs smooth. As you could see in the footage here, everything was running great. Now, moving on to Wii U real quick, it was a little bit of a mixed bag for me. Some games were running really well. Some were running a little slow. Just need to make a few minor tweaks to get better performance there. But yeah, Nintendo stuff for the most part seems fine. But let's move on.
Cool.
Battle 2. Fight!
Was that?
So there we go, Sony stuff, PlayStation. Obviously, PS1's going to be fine. PSP, everything I threw at it ran great. Now, PS2 and PS3, it's a mixed bag here. Some things played extremely well, other things a little sluggish. So yeah, maybe a little fine-tuning here and there. But for the most part, it seemed like PS2 was maybe the top end here with this PC. Maybe you could push it a little further with some, you know, settings, tweaks, and whatnot. But at the current price point on this thing, it's usually hovering around $300 for this Blackview MP200. I think it's not a bad deal. I mean, a lot of people are shifting more towards mini PCs for their gaming needs as far as emulation goes. And I do have an Amazon influencer page. I always link it down below, where it's an actual Amazon page where you could look at all the different, you know, mini computers that I've reviewed. I have them all in one place, compare the prices, see if anything's on sale, that kind of thing. So, hey, take a look if you're interested. Really do appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye.